Now let's take a look at the Wayback Machine. Wayback Machine is kind of cool because what this lets us do is this lets us go back and kind of see the way that a site used to be. Now what this can tell us about it, let's go to archive.org. Whoops, org. I'll get it. There we go. And what this lets us do is this lets us see some of the old versions of different websites, and that can tell you a lot of information. For instance, maybe there's some information on one of the old sites that they have since corrected or taken down, but if it's in the Wayback Machine, then we'll be able to see the old version here. So let's go ahead and let's see what Microsoft.com used to look like. And here you go. And you see this goes all the way back down to 1996. So let's take a look at one of the older ones here. And what this has done is this particular site has gathered different information and just stored copies of them. Now it doesn't mean that all the links on these are going to be any good. For instance, you see that the one graphic up at the top is not being displayed. But it's showing you a representation of what it looked like at that point in time. So you see that this is what the Microsoft site looked like, and if those actual graphics that were linked to were still valid there, then it would still, show us that information. Let's see if this old link works. We'll try to go to Windows, and it should bring something up. No, see we have an error on the page. Okay, sometimes you get that when you go to the old sites like this, but this tells us some information about what that site looked like back then. Okay, now it says it's going to open the default page. Here we go. Hey, you can see Windows 2000 was the latest and greatest. Service Pack 1 was now available. You have Windows ME 98, NT Workstation. Now you notice it's still turning up an error on the page, but we'll go ahead and try to follow it through. And a lot of times this is really good for picking out information, like maybe they did list some information about the company that they really shouldn't have put on there, like for instance maybe their mailing address or whatever. So you can go back and find that information even though they've now taken it off of the page itself. So